All right, so this is gonna be the main topic we talk about probably for a while. I find this endlessly interesting, but I guess I can't help it. If you guys know, I do watch a lot of H3. But so if you want to know a lot of the background knowledge behind what's going on with some of these lawsuits, all of this, if you don't know, stems all the way back from beef between H3, Ethan Klein here, his wife, and with this streamer Hassan, this other content creator. And it all stems back. They had a podcast, Leftovers, years ago. Wasn't that long ago. But essentially, bunch of terrible, they were like lefties who had very similar views on like just about everything. I've talked about this a million times probably already. Hey, Veronica Rose and Lil Lencho joined the stream. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the stream. If you want to know, we're just starting. Hey, Tim's in there. Sheesh. What's up, Tim? Welcome to the stream. All we talked about so far is the first section. I talked about Stranger Things. Now we're moving on to the main topic of the night. Hassan Piker, Ethan Klein here both had a podcast called Leftovers, essentially talking about lefty and democratic political news and opinions and stuff. Ethan Klein is a Jewish person. And then October 11th happened. Ipso facto, there was some sort of differing opinions there, even though I wouldn't necessarily say they were differing opinions. Everyone seems to have the same kind of opinion, but there still was some sort of animosity between Ethan and Hassan's community. Ethan felt like he was being berated by Hassan's community, and ipso facto, Hassan refused to apologize or to moderate his chat, causing a rift between them. Ethan was unhappy, canceled the show. There you go. That's where like the origin of the animosity between Hassan Piker and Ethan Klein comes from. I do think it's heavily important to remind people, I've said it a bunch of times, these two don't have differing opinions when it comes to like most liberal values and ideologies. That's why it's never made sense, the rift between them, when like they supposedly agree on a bunch of stuff, except for like maybe the first ripples you could kind of see when they were first doing the show, where there were some differing opinions, would be when it comes to the idea of socialism versus capitalism, which oddly enough, before October 11th, that was like the first again ripples of like their opinions kind of swaying or being different a little bit. Which that was like a big thing too, was the capital, because Ethan, I mean, I'm somebody who like supports, I don't want to say, I don't like saying I downright support capitalism. I think it's important to support aspects of capitalism, and then I don't necessarily totally degrade socialism. I think there are aspects of socialism that are good. Ideally, what you should do is, if you're in a proper society that wants the best of both worlds, ideally, you would pick from all of these different ideas and systems, and you combine them to make the one you think is the best for everyone. You know, that's in a perfect world that would happen. Obviously, that's not what we do here. Yeah, and Ethan was just talking about the benefits of capitalism, Hassan socialism. I'm going down a rabbit hole, but yeah, that was like the beginning rift. Then October 11th happened. Things got super dramatic there. Ethan wasn't happy with his community. Hassan doesn't defend Ethan over anything. Ethan feels hurt and betrayed. Cancel the show. Bam. That's the beginning of the problems. Sometime after, this girl Frogan, I almost forgot her name. Frogan, who was a moderator for Hassan, might still be. I honestly don't know. Ethan just unfollowed her at some point. She got butthurt and then started attacking him on social media as well. So that was the beginning of a bad relationship with this girl Frogan, who's a part of the lawsuits. I should say overall, just this whole thing that's happening right now with all of them it's all about lawsuits. Currently, Ethan Klein, H3, is currently suing 3 people for, I think it's copyright infringement. He's suing Denims, a girl named Denims, who is, I think, might be another moderator for Hassan, or is some sort of community associate. So there's a girl named Denims, there's a girl named Frogan, and there's a girl named Kaceytron. Kaceytron is the main focal point of what's happening right now. Essentially, what happened is that iDubbbz had created his, if you didn't see iDubbbz, or Ian and his Nisa, iDubbbz created a new content cop. And then what it ended up being, if you don't remember the famous, I would say now infamous scene of Ethan finding out live on stream that the new content cop from his so-called buddy Ian was on him. So a content cop made on H3, which was shocking, crazy. Ian is now like, as far as most people think, Ian and Anissa now are orbiters of Hassan. Although I would venture to say that, like, the sad part about it is, like, I don't actually believe these people, like, maybe other than one of, I think Denim's maybe benefiting. I've never gotten the vibe that any of these people are truly benefiting off of being friends with Hassan. So it's never quite made sense to me what's going on. You can even see once we get to once we get to the Kaceytron video, she even admits, she's like, I was expecting Hassan to help me out, but he never did. Which, again, that's something that Ethan, when we get to the video, he kind of attacks Hassan for, is Hassan is supposed to be this socialist who is like very not frugal with his money and is willing to give it out and to help people, but when it comes to somebody who, like, on his behalf is attacking somebody and then gets into trouble, he's not willing to, like, front the cash to help them out, which I think is a fair point. I definitely think it's something fair to attack Hassan. Get me on track if you guys see me if you guys get me rambling, but that's essentially the genesis. Is iDubbbz creates this content cop. Oh, no, actually, the video, it doesn't, so I forgot, it was, wasn't it the content nuke, I think, is the video that's in question. For some reason, I'm getting my, so yeah, iDubbbz put out this video, but I'm getting it wrong. iDubbbz isn't the one that started this. What did initially start this, H3 Ethan put out a content nuke on Hassan, like 10 months ago. And that video was the genesis of where all of this lawsuits are coming from, because if you guys don't know, when a video is published by a creator on YouTube, there is, I believe, a subtle or very small amount of ownership by the video. So, like, when I put out, like, anytime I put out a stream or a video, because it is mine, but it is technically a video that is mine, that is created by me. So therefore, legally wise, I can do things with it. But I believe what H3 or Ethan did was, before he published the video, he went out and he actually went to the, what was it, the Library of Congress or Chamber of Congress, and he put an official copyright ownership onto that video, which, if you don't know, that gives you like a whole nother larger avenue of ownership onto something. Ethan creates this video, doesn't publish it just yet, goes out, gets it officially tagged by the U.S. government that it's this is mine. I guess it's almost like maybe like a trademark kind of, although it's not a trademark, but I mean like that in that official capacity. So he goes out, does that, then publishes the video, puts it out, because he's trying to bait people to illegally copyright steal this video, because he knows that people like Hassan, Frogan, Denims, Kaceytron of the sort, to an extent, people also like Asmongold and stuff like that stream now. But what technically saves you is you're supposed to alter content. You're supposed to make content your own. So I'm allowed legally to watch this video here, but as I'm watching it, you're supposed to change or add commentary to change the video. Therefore, it shifts the ownership over to you, because you're technically altering the content in some way. Now, what Ethan was betting on was that there would be a handful of people. I think he was hoping Hassan would do it, because he knew Hassan hated him and wanted to, because these people he knows hates him, he knows that they're willing to steal his content, essentially, and try and affect him monetarily or money-wise, which is exactly what 3 of the people did. So he posts the video, and it immediately, Denims, Kaceytron, Frogan, they all watch the video live on their streams, but they're barely adding any commentary. They're essentially just, to their communities, playing the video on their Twitch streams, on their YouTube streams, and they're telling people, hey, come over and watch it. Don't go to H3 and watch his video there. Come over here and watch it. So if you come over here and watch it, he doesn't get any revenue from his big video, therefore affecting his bottom line, affecting his money. And not only was that happening there, but I think also H3 is also suing the Reddit community, specific Reddit communities, for also telling people to come watch it over here to take views from somebody like him. And I think what is the icing on the cake, what really helps Ethan's lawsuit chances of winning, which they're pretty good because Kaceytron is already settled. So therefore, he's got a pretty good case. If these people don't settle, they're kind of screwed. Wow, it's some crazy work for copyrights, as Veronica Rose. Yeah. But what really is the nail? What hits the nail on the head is that, I don't know what phrase I'm looking for. What you really want in order to is have someone essentially hang themselves. All of these people, Kaceytron, Denims, and Frogan, they did the no-no in their streams when they did it live, and they actually said, "Hey, you guys come over here and watch it so that we can negatively affect Ethan's bottom line." Now, by saying that alone, you are dooming yourself in court, and that's essentially what allows Ethan to sue these people and to have a really good case of winning, is because they all said it on stream that not only are they being negligent or trying to are they doing something wrong, but they're admitting that they know they're doing something wrong, which that is always a no-no when you are doing something wrong, is to admit that you know you're doing something wrong. So yeah, that's kind of where everything stems. We're going to get into this video. If you don't know the title of it, I watched this podcast, so essentially Kaceytron put out an apology video. Her probably lawyer helped her set it up, but settled some amount in the background. Still, his lawsuit with Denims and Frogan is yet to be worked on. But yeah, that's what we'll start off with. Unfortunately for them, I think that's also that is what saved ultimately Hassan, because I do think Hassan eventually ended up watching the stream, but I do think he put on a lot of commentary and did stuff over it, therefore changing the content, making it his own. As people like Asmongold watched it live as well, and he did the same thing, making sure to add commentary and to pause and stuff like that.
Second tower, he just whispered, "We're under attack, sir."
Do we need to evacuate?
It's happened.
Code alert?
It's happened.
So this is live. AB coming up and telling Ethan that, because I think they were waiting. She hadn't posted the video up and they had already gone live, and I think not long. I think it was like half an hour into the stream, and they found out she. Of course, Ethan knows because of through litigation. I think he was probably in communication with her lawyer, and yeah. All right, let's get to the apology. Shut up, Chaz.
What?
Live stream apparently, and we'll be up in 5 minutes.
Well, so it should be on X and Twitch. I believe it should be on X. That'd be easier.
I sent both links just in case.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm watching the countdown.
Now, it's 3 minutes long, and I think we should watch it together. But before I do, and again, I want to thank Kaceytron for being a good faith negotiator. I think going into this, we had low expectations, but I think we both came out of this happily surprised that we were able to kind of put this behind both of us and move on amicably. So I do want to thank Kaceytron.
Yeah.
I think ultimately her apology was heartfelt and sincere, and I really appreciate everything she said, and I do. So I want to just say thank you to Kaceytron.
Same. I'm happy we can put it behind us.
This has been unpleasant for all of us.
Yeah.
And I just wish you all the best.
They never get into it, but I really would like to know the specifics of what Ethan won. What he is actually getting out of it, because from what I understand, they'll get into it, but Kaceytron had this GoFundMe to help her with the funding of it, because I think the GoFundMe was supposed to cover the lawyer and of the stuff. So I'm assuming the lawyer probably got paid out of that. I think she had gotten 60-70 grand in her GoFundMe, and apparently, I didn't even know this, but apparently legally, in cases of content theft and malicious intent in terms of stealing, any funds that are raised up from you that are going towards paying for that. So essentially, Ethan gets to legally claim all of the money from her GoFundMe, because technically that counts as damages. Because technically he's suing her for stealing revenue from him because of stealing his content. So because technically she stole revenue and money from him, any money that she raises that is going towards the lawsuit that's left over, that goes to Ethan, because that counts towards the damages of what she stole from him. So it's like, which is kind of crazy, because that's not something I ever thought about. That's not as though just because she raised $60,000, she can pay her lawyer and she gets to keep some of that from. No, she doesn't get to keep any of it. That all goes to Ethan, which is kind of crazy.
And that's it. Now, of course, this was the reason I say that is because I have seen it, and I just want to say that like I said, it's very heartfelt and it's very meaningful, and I appreciate it. So we're going to enjoy this here, and we'll watch it all together and move on all together. Uh-oh. Oh. She can see. Okay, here
Here
it
we
is.
go.
Yeah.
And by stating I take responsibility for infringing the content nuke.
Yeah, start it over.
I want to begin by stating I take responsibility for infringing the content nuke. The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins. This lawsuit has given me a greater understanding of copyright protection, people's copyrights, and the importance of protecting copyrights in the online content creation community. It is important for the entire content creation community to respect the intellectual property.
I was gonna say, what I should throw in is like, I will just preface. Do I think that just because Kaceytron put this out and she puts out this apology and all of that, does that mean that I think she is changed or she has like learned anything? I won't say a yes or no. I don't know her personally, but I will just say, again, Ethan probably played a big part in helping, or his lawyer at least did, in writing a lot of this apology. So I would take probably some of what she says with a grain of salt. Hopefully she does learn from this and stops being a douche. But like, yeah, I would question how much of this is sincere or not. I don't think anything that comes out of being sued is like, I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Rights of other creators, and I will adhere to the lessons I've learned throughout this process going forward. I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support.
Oh, so before she gets into that, because I love
Tim says, of all the people, I do think Kaceytron probably learned something. Maybe. I do think it, I should throw on top of that what I was just saying about not believing that she may be sincere with this apology. Yes, while that is, I may not believe some of her in terms of being sincere, an apology video and settling is better than nothing. You know what I mean? That's far better than what, I don't know if you guys have seen, maybe they'll talk about it, but Denims is like saying she's gonna fight this all the way, which it's like, that's not smart, girl. Don't do that. I don't think Denims or Frogan have learned a single thing. Maybe not. I do think what's interesting is I think Kaceytron and Denim share the same lawyer, if I'm not mistaken, which I think they mentioned it in the stream. But that's also very interesting if Denims does decide to fight this all the way, which like Denims doesn't have a case. She can say she's going to fight it all the way, but fighting it all the this isn't going to get to court, I don't think. Even Ethan even admits, like, I don't think she has a case for this to get all the way to court. She's going to have to settle eventually. And I think it's even like I was looking into it, like even just hiring a lawyer to go to court is like an insane amount of money. Like you're looking at what? At minimum, like $500,000 if you're having to go to like full-time court to fight a lawsuit. It's like, it's a lot of money, and I don't see why you would fight it, especially if you're like legitimately in the wrong, which I guarantee you her lawyers probably told her. I don't know. It's interesting. Intuitively, for no reason other than gut, I really think Casey repents on the other two just as stubborn idiots as Tim. Yeah, I do agree. Nonetheless, whether I think she's sincere or not, good on her for putting out a video. Good on her for just sucking it up and being like, okay, Ethan, help me write help my lawyer write this apology video. I'll say it. Just drop the lawsuit, or let's settle for a small amount and we'll go our separate ways and end it. That's the proper way to do it. And especially at the beginning of the video, Kaceytron admits that she actually has like people to support, family members that are like on disability. So it's actually huge on her. She has like a lot of incentive to not want to lose as much money as possible. So again, good on her for doing the mature thing.
this part.
Lord and Salty says, also not sure if we
No,
covered
it's
this
gonna
topic
stay
before,
up.
but I keep seeing stuff about RAM shortages from AI companies buying a bunch of
Oh,
RAM.
no,
I'm not
anyway, it's only 3 minutes
surprised
long.
there.
But I want to say that I really appreciate she really turned a leaf on the copyright stuff, and I think that's really important, right? Because the purpose of this was
this?
the activism aspect of it all. Oh no, I can go back. Oh, you know what? I should just let it play for you guys, right? And we can go back and enjoy certain moments of it, or I mean, not enjoy, because certainly that's not the right word to say, but to appreciate. Dan, don't rush me. Should I play it? Okay, Dan wants me to play it. All right, we'll start it over because, you know.
Beep, beep, beep.
And by stating I take responsibility for infringing the content.
By the way, I do
begin
not
by
want to see
stating I
any
take
negative. I don't want
responsibility-
to see people being rude to her. I genuinely have forgiven her. I'm moving on, and it's water under the bridge. I don't want to see anybody being. I'm being dead serious. Let's not be nasty to her, guys.
And I do say, I love it when a content creator says stuff like this. Like on their behalf, when they're just like, listen, I'm having a beef with this person. I have issues with them, sure. Don't go out on my behalf and attack anybody. You know, that's not... I mean, I would very much say I'm in that same boat. Like, just because I have a beef or I'm criticizing someone, that doesn't mean I want to foster a community of people just going out and, you know, incessantly attacking people. It's like, I should be able to be critical without, you know, anyone on my behalf attacking anyone. And if someone does go out and attack someone on my behalf, if that ever happens, I will be the first one to come out and be like, hey, I never tell people to go out and do nothing. You know, I don't mind criticizing, but I don't need people to do stuff, which, good on him. Casey literally had the most to lose here, says Tim. I definitely think so, mainly because of the fact that, again, she claims she has multiple family members that are dependent on her because of disability. She takes care of people at home. So because of that, yes, I would say financially, I don't know, maybe her and Frogan are not like huge creators, I'll be honest. So, well, no, Casey probably does have the most to lose because I believe out of the three, she's the one I don't think that has any tie to Hassan as much as Denims and Frogan. So I'll be very curious to find out if eventually if Hassan is helping them two out, if he hasn't helped either of them two out either. It'd be fascinating. No, for I do the same as Veronica Rose, Odin is salty. Good on Ethan for handling conflicts in a mature manner. Well, let's not give him too much. He handles it maturely, and then also like he also kind of puts it to her a little bit in this video, but for the most part, yeah, I agree. No, I think Frogan has more than Casey, and Frogan has those ties, yes. Oh, I see. You think Frogan has more money and maybe more clout than Kaceytron does? I can see that.
This is it. Okay, it's over. We won. That's it. We won, right? So let's just move on and thank her. Thank you.
For infringing
I'm being
the
dead
content
serious.
nuke.
Please do not.
The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins. This lawsuit has given me a greater understanding of copyright protection.
Oh, I hope they get into it eventually, but if you didn't see, Denims and Kaceytron are supposed to be BFFs. Like, I think at one point they might have been doing a podcast together or something with Anissa, whatever, from with iDubbbz' wife. Denims put out a statement recently saying that, that's right, Denims was criticizing Kaceytron and Frogan. She said something like, unlike those two, I'm not going to cave in to Ethan or something. And that's crazy for Denims to say. So she basically was saying that Kaceytron caved, and she also was like, unlike Frogan and Casey. So she's like saying that Frogan has caved when, as far as we know, nothing has happened with Frogan just yet. So Denims is already like saying that, like, she's acting like I already know Frogan is gonna back out and is gonna give up. You know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy. So like, I wonder if she knows something that we don't. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she does, but the fact that she was willing, she like said, I'm not gonna cave like those two. Is there something we don't know about when it comes to Frogan? Ethan obviously is not going to say anything about that because that is probably a part of the litigation, so nothing can come out about that just yet if he does know. But I wonder if Denims flat out like knows that like Frogan is also in the background gonna settle or something. Also, not gonna lie, she does rock those glasses. I kind of do like her glasses, to be honest. They're very Harry Potter. Hello, Mr. Potter.
People's copyrights and the importance of protecting copyrights in the online content creation community. It is important for the entire content creation community to
Who's
respect
got better glasses? Me or her? Who rocks the glasses game better? I'm not gonna. Who am I kidding? I think she's got better glasses game. Let's be honest. Look at those.
the intellectual property rights of other creators, and I will adhere to the lessons I've learned throughout this process going forward. I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hassan Piker.
Ooh, if you guys didn't catch that, that is 100% something Ethan probably twisted her leg to get out of her to say. That's got to be pretty damaging for her and to the Hassan community, but she probably doesn't care. What she just doesn't want to get sued.
Will adhere to the lessons I've
All right,
learned
see this
throughout this
again.
process going forward. I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hassan Piker. Hassan never even reached out to me privately to offer words of support. Speaking honestly, I found his indifference to my suffering hurtful, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes. It felt like he wanted to receive credit from the public for helping me without providing any. As to the GoFundMe money, to the extent there are any remaining
It's pretty funny. You could see Ethan wants to say something about it, but someone has to tell him to not jump in. Real quick, she does admit
Getting
something
any.
cool. Another thing. This is what I was talking
As
about
to the
before.
GoFundMe money,
with the
to the
GoFundMe
extent
money.
there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins. The funds will not go to anyone else, including Denims or Frogan, to defend their lawsuits. For the record, I have agreed to cooperate with the Kleins in their litigation against the H3 Snark mods for promoting my live stream to the
Ooh, so not only again those funds that she garnered from the GoFundMe for the lawsuit, those go to H3. So now she's saying that she has agreed to possibly help out in terms of speaking on any of the H3 Snark, which essentially the Reddit communities as I was talking about, who I think Ethan is either suing them or wants to sue them as well, because they also were contributing to, again, saying, hey, everyone, if you don't want to give Ethan money or revenue or views from watching his content nuke, come over to Reddit, and we have links over here where you can watch it live. You know what I mean?
I am able. I will offer my support, including testifying under oath to everything I have just stated, to help their cause. I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge other misconduct and bad behavior I have exhibited online. For example, weaponizing the death of Asmongold's mother was inexcusable.
This was I'll be honest, like, even though I obviously love this, I guess at some point maybe she said something mean about if you don't know, Asmongold, another content creator, his mother died in the past from, I think, cancer, and his father just recently passed away. Maybe, I don't remember, maybe because of cancer as well. So both of his parents have passed away, his dad more recently. And I guess maybe Kaceytron said something hurtful about the mom or something. And don't get me wrong, I obviously love that she's apologizing for that here. I just thought it was weird why it's in this video, why she's apologizing. I wonder if Ethan was like, oh, could you please apologize for saying that about his mom? I guess good looking out from H3, but I thought it was a little odd that it was just placed here, but obviously a great thing to apologize for.
I should know better because I have 3 disabled people that rely on me. Moving forward, I will do better. I also want to apologize to the crew of the H3 podcast, particularly AB and Olivia.
Yeah.
I apologize for...
If you don't know, Olivia, who's one of the cast members of the show, she essentially they claim she hasn't quit the show, but she hasn't been there for, 3-4 months now. I guess mainly due to the heat and a lot of the criticism that was coming from H3 Snark and the fan bases of Hassan, Kaceytron, and Denims and all that. Oh, and also Anissa and Ian. So I guess due to all that criticism, she took a step back from the show. I'm just going to assume she's quit she has like her own YouTube channel and is making content over there. But yeah, good stuff to apologize for.
Calling them cowards for not quitting their jobs. That was a shameful attack on two people who deeply care about Palestine and Palestinian people. AB, along with his wife Lena, have done more than I have ever done for the Palestinian people, including raising over $100,000 in charity. I recognize that they have actually made Palestinian lives better, and my online antagonism and trolling has not.
Yeah.
I apologize to Ethan and Hila personally. I have said extremely mean and cruel things about both of them, particularly my misogynistic attacks against Hila that never should have been said. I also want to acknowledge the pervasive problem of anti-Semitism in leftist spaces. It should concern all of us. I condemn it and will not participate in it. To that end, I wish the Klein's success in enforcing TED Entertainment's copyright and protecting the legal rights of online content creators.
Just sit on that for a sec. Check my phone here. Just sit on that.
And again, I will throw in, I mentioned it earlier, but like, even with all of the bullcrap that Kaceytron may have done and put forward, even with may have some of this video may not being sincere, I definitely think, as Tim mentioned earlier, this is a very mature and good thing to do. You know, so props on you. I that's the one thing I've always said is like, that's a big thing, big criticism I have for Hassan and stuff is like, you know, granted, you know, maybe this is forced on her due to litigation, whatever. Being willing to apologize for things is not a bad thing if you get something wrong or if you did something wrong. So I don't know, at least on my behalf, I definitely think that's a definitely a thing to be positive about.
You know, just
Take it all in.
we'll look at it. You know, it's just sit on it. What a heartfelt. I mean, like genuinely.
Talk to us, sit on that
and
thing.
I'm gonna say something. Kaceytron, we've said it continually throughout this. You are extraordinarily funny and a very talented person. And I wish you all the best in the future, in your future endeavors. And I know you will continue to make people laugh and to and to continue to bring joy to people in that regard. I do. I think you are extremely funny and very clever. So, and I accept your apology. I do, and I appreciate all the sincerity and just all the specific. A lot of the stuff in there was really, I think, warranted, and I'm glad that she's, you know, come to terms with a lot of it, and I appreciate it. I really think she's turned a new leaf. I do.
Now, I will say, like, again, I was saying don't heap too much praise on Ethan. As him being a funny man, there are times when I admit that even though I've been watching him for years, I can't inherently tell just how, like, I do think there's an amount of him that's being sincere here. I do think he's globbing on a little bit too much with the whole, like, I do think she's changed and she's seen the error of her ways, and, like, I think that might be him globbing on a little too much and maybe just being a little ridiculous with his gratefulness here, but I don't know, it's kind of hard. Him being a funny man, it's like, sometimes it's hard for me to tell.
Now let's watch it. Now I can pause it and stuff, right?
Yeah, now that we've watched it, you can do whatever you want.
All right, so now one part that really stands out to me is the part about Hassan. Because he really did make it. And do we have that clip right of when Hassan was making it sound like?
Oh, that's surprising. That's so surprising. The part that sticks out to you is the Hassan part. It's almost like Hassan is the genesis of this whole thing.
Can we watch that?
Yeah. When Hassan was making it sound like he was going to help them, and I mean rightfully so. If I was him, I would have reached out immediately and offered my support, emotionally and financially, right? And that is something I have done, you know, in other instances.
It's incredible.
If you guys haven't seen beyond a lot of this stuff with Hassan has been just going nuclear on his streams the last day or two. I think H3 and then I missed their stream today, but I think they actually talked about Hassan just going off on people today over the last couple of days. But yeah, that's something. I don't know if we'll have time tonight to talk about that, but Hassan's just been like blowing up on people on Twitch. Like I don't think this clip will show it, but like he was going after like commenters, longtime subscribers, stuff like the last couple of days, and it's just absolutely hilarious. And he's cursing people out, and I am shocked. I'll be honest. I am shocked I was ever a fan of this guy. Like, because I'll tell you guys I was a fan of Hassan, like before he had joined H3. Like I didn't watch a ton, but I watched some of his stuff. I probably watched him about as much as like people like Vaush and stuff. And I liked his opinion on the politics. But like, I'll be honest, like I didn't watch his streams in full. So like a lot of the times whenever I would watch him, like I definitely think if you watch his streams, I keep mixing up Hassan and Some Ordinary Gamer. I'm so dumb, says Veronica Rose. I used to watch a lot of Some Ordinary Gamer as well. Or what's his name? Mudahar. You know what I watched a lot of Mudahar? I don't know if you guys remember, but do you guys remember his podcast he had with that guy Nux Taku? I don't even know what that guy does now. But I used to watch, they had like a gaming podcast, him, Nux Taku, and some other guy. And I used to watch their podcast every now and then, and I don't remember. Nux Taku did something and got canceled for something, and of course that did away with their podcast or whatever it was. But that's about that. Now I mainly just watch Mudahar's solo videos and enjoy. But there's a big difference between, I've noticed that like, because most of the time when I did watch Hassan, it was on YouTube. So a lot of the times I would see his edited clips, his highlights and stuff where it's like finely tuned edited. All of his craziness is edited out. It's all just his opinions, and all the videos make him look good. But I definitely notice, like, if you go and you watch his actual streams, or you see clips on Twitter and stuff like that, or Reddit, like the actual stuff that comes out that's not edited out, his like full-on live streams, the dude is like, can be like insane sometimes. And like that's the stuff I never saw because I was only watching the tailored highlight videos that have everything cut out. And that's the kind of stuff early on I wish I would have known about, because I'm a boomer, so like when it comes to internet culture, I feel like I'm starting to get more into it. But in terms of like, I've never been big on Twitch or nothing, so like all the content I saw from Hassan, it was all on YouTube. So, but yeah, now seeing Hassan, I see clips of him, and the dude's just freaking out on like his longtime subscribers and yelling at people and zapping his dog. You know what I mean? He's just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And Lencho in chat says, I used to watch Mudahar for his deep web exploring videos. Nux was a low-key creep, said Veronica. That I didn't know about. Again, I only watched it. I only watched him because he was on that podcast with Mudahar. And I was like, this guy's fine. I'll be honest, I didn't really like his, what is it, the web? What is he? What do they call him again? Where you use an animation as your feed other than a video of you. I forget what they call him. I'm a boomer. I don't remember nothing. But, what is it? You guys don't know what it is. I'm always weirded out by people that do that. I'm sorry. The fact that you are not willing to show your face on your streams, to me is it's a little sus. I get it. Actually, the only person I watch that actually does that I enjoy watching is probably VTuber, said Veronica. Yeah, exactly. That whole VTuber thing weirds me out. I would say Nicholas Diorio is probably the only one I watch that actually, and I wouldn't even say he's a VTuber. He just has a silly little animation that just bounces around on screen. That I don't mind. Odin is Salty in chat says, I watch Mudahar stuff sometimes, mostly just for basic coverage on a topic. Not a huge fan of him though, says Odin. Yeah, kind of similar to Mudahar. The only other people I watch similar to him is probably Moist Critical. As you guys know, Charlie, he's the only other big creator like that I kind of like and watch. Asmongold is a lot different. I watch Asmongold sometimes. I tell you, I was thinking about this. I don't know why don't ask me why I was thinking about this earlier in the car, because I was listening to Asmon. There are times when I listen to Asmongold and I'm like, wow, this dude's a genius. Wow, I really like his opinion on this. Wow, he's really insightful when it comes to this one topic. And then there are other times when I hear Asmongold and I'm like, dude, you are an idiot. And I don't agree with a single thing you just said. And you are a radical, crazy nut job. And he's an interesting character. I don't think I've ever listened to someone that like 50% of the time I think he's a genius, and then 50% of the time I think he's the most insane person on the planet. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what makes him entertaining and why people like watching Asmund. He's probably the person I've subscribed and unsubscribed to the most. Like, I'm telling you, that's how, like, 50-50 I am on the guy. There's times when I subscribe because I like a video, and then the next video I watch from him, he says something batshit crazy, and I'm like, oh, I can't be tied. I can't watch this guy. And then I'll unsubscribe, and then I'll watch another video a week later where he has a good opinion, and then I'll subscribe again. I've probably subscribed and unsubscribed to Asmund Gold, like, maybe 5 or 6 times on YouTube. It's kind of weird, kind of funny. Nah, Nux is his own can of worms, says Veronica. Scott Twilight says, I used to like Nux Taku years ago when I stopped watching him because of how weird he was, says Skylar. Lencho says, I literally know nothing about YouTubers' personal dealings or conflicts. I only know Chaz, lol. Well, that's probably the best for your sanity, is to not delve too deep. Again, I will put my interest in like getting into this internet culture solely on H3. Once H3 started his whole podcast, that was really the first time I really was like delving into like getting into internet culture. Prior to H3, I'll be honest, all I watched on YouTube was video game content. Before H3, all I was watching was Angry Joe, Angry Video Game Nerd, IGN, GameSpot stuff, Boogie2988. Like, all I was watching was gaming stuff. And then H3 kind of got me into, now I'm a little bit, you guys know I'm like very much into like tea, drama, internet culture and stuff. Now I'm a good mix of that and video gaming. Let's see. Tim says Asmund's viewer base leans a bit too far right to me, says Tim Neolist. I agree with that. I try to be as moderate as I can. I always admit I lean a little bit to the left, but I have some views that would be considered conservative. What can I do? All right, back to the video.
It's stressful, both emotionally and financially, to go through a lawsuit.
It is,
Everybody
and I
knows
appreciate the situation she's been in, and that's why.
Which is also why I'm so glad to at least put one behind us.
Yeah. And I know it was difficult on her, and I'm glad that she's free of it now, and she can just move on. We can all move on. I really do. I have appreciated.
Odin Salty says saying unacceptable stuff in a professional setting will get you fired, says Odin. Not always the case if you own the company or the business, which Trump has probably never not been in a situation where he doesn't own whatever the business or whatever he's involved in. That's why he's so comfortable saying stuff like that.
A thorough and sincere apology.
Oh, socialist, why won't he give these guys money? Trust me, if I offer support, you won't know about it, okay?
Which, this is an insane thing, too, that Hassan was getting into.
At least put one behind us.
Yeah. And I know it was difficult on her, and I'm glad that she's free.
Did I go back too far? I wanted to see what Hassan
just said. We can all
said.
move on. I really do. My heart, I have appreciation for Kaceytron, and I thank her very much for the very thorough and sincere apology.
I might have rewound it too.
Oh,
here it is.
Why won't he give these guys money? Trust me, if I offer support, you won't know about it, okay?
Which, like, that's such a weird thing for Hassan to say. Like, if I offer support, believe me, you won't know about it. Why is that something you don't want anyone to know about? Like, straight up, like, if somebody is in trouble on your behalf because they're defending you, or they've, are dying on a hill of making sure that you're never get blamed or get any criticism, then why, when they're getting punished for being a part of like your community or doing something that involves you, why would you not want it known that you're supporting them? Like, all these people that donate to these 3 people's GoFundMes, you can be anonymous, but you can't put your name on it. Like, why? And I get why Hassan isn't doing that, because he's very, like, I will say, like, the one great thing Hassan is he's very politically and image-wise savvy. Because he's so unwilling to admit to anything, he'll say outlandish things, and then when you call him out on it, he'll turn around and say, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. You got the context wrong. That's not what I meant. And this is one of those cases where, like, Hassan has these people part of his community, his orbiters, that go out and get in trouble for doing something, and then he turns around and oh, I'm not supporting them. Why would I? Yeah, I'll support them, but you just won't know about it. When in all actuality, he's not supporting any of them, and it's so odd. And then, like, when one of them comes out and says, yeah, I didn't receive any support from him, or he didn't even call and offer any support. It's like,
now what do you suppose that
and again, the big thing with Hassan Piker that he always claims is he's a socialist. He's somebody who is willing to help the downtrodden. He's willing to help people that need help money wise and to support everyone. He's he's Gandhi when it comes to money, right? He's a socialist. He's supposed to, not, again, I'm not trying to criticize socialism in itself. I'm just criticizing him because of his view on that. But it's like, he's supposed to be the one that, like, is willing to give money to people and to things. But then when it comes to someone who's struggling on his behalf, you're not willing to help them out monetarily or whatever. You get what I'm saying? It's so weird.
that Nod is saying.
Think about it.
And I think Kaceytron said it really well. It's like he wants the public's gratitude, the public credit. He's like, hey, oh yeah, I'm a socialist. If I reach out, you won't hear about it. And then he even goes out his way to go. Right? But then,
not practicing what you preach, says Veronica Rose. Yeah, it's very much, that's a great Testament song, by the way. Practice what you preach. It's insane that, like, I'm correct, Chaz, says Lencho. I appreciate that. And it's insane that Ethan, being the capitalist between the two, he even, like, says, I think at one point, he's like, well, if someone's on my behalf is in trouble, I'm going to help them out money-wise to get out of whatever issue they're in. But Hassan's supposed to be the one that's so willing to willy-nilly help people with his money and with his clout and everything. But then the second that he has people that are actually in trouble, it's like, yeah, I'll help people out, but you just won't know about it. It's like, well, how do we know you helped them out if we won't know about it? And then we don't know about it because this other creator is saying that you didn't help them. So you're not helping them. You know what I mean? So it'll be fascinating. I guarantee you, as part of the other settlements with Frogan and Denims, I guarantee you that's also going to be something Ethan demands as part of their apologies if he gets it from them, is for his whole goal, you can 100% tell, is to get at Hassan. The whole thing is, he's suing them, yes, but this whole thing is he wants to hurt the Snark H3 Reddit, and he wants to hurt Hassan as much as possible. So that's going to be part of, like if there's any settlement or anything, he's going to demand that. He wants to know from Denims or from Frogan if Hassan reached out to them either for support or anything of the sort. So
you find out he didn't even reach out. So the way Kaceytron said is really rings true, is that he wanted the public credit, the goodwill, but he didn't want to actually engage in any of the actual work. The man couldn't even reach out and offer his emotional support.
And that's another thing that I didn't even think about that Ethan's saying, is that, like, Hassan at any of these points isn't even, like, for these orbiters, people that are part of his community, he's not even willing to, like, voice his support for these people. There's no emotional support. There's no, like, hey everyone, I can't support them for some reason. I can't support them monetarily with money, but if you could go check out their GoFundMe's. I'm just telling my community, hey, go check out Kaceytron's GoFundMe, go support them. Why not? You can't even, like, vocally bring up any support for them. They've got to do it amongst themselves when they're supposed to be, like, your BFFs, a part of your community. It's something I've always thought about Hassan. Not always. I was a fan, but definitely post me not being a fan of his anymore, it's something I, like, really realized is, like, I don't think Hassan cares about anything, which is so weird to say because, like, it's always been weird. Like, there's always been people that have criticized him for, like, he's pro-Palestine, but, like, he's also, like, pro, like, certain aspects of, like, terrorism when it comes to Hamas and stuff. And, like, the part of the criticism that I remember Ethan and them waging on them is like, is Hassan and them think that like the October 11th stuff is like worthwhile for the Palestinians and Hamas. It's worthwhile for them to do because it's them about fighting back. And it's like, no, dummy, like that's a terrible thing to do. Like, while yes, I agree, Palestine and Gaza, all that's awful. Obviously, they don't deserve anything that's happening to them, and that it is a genocide and all that's terrible. If you were to ask them whether they, like, what I mean by that is, if you were to ask Hassan whether he thinks October 11th or something was warranted from Hamas, he would like say yes, and it's like, no, dude, that's the wrong thing to tell Hamas and the Palestinians to do, because Israel is the larger government. And you already know that they dislike what's the Palestinians and the Gazans. The last thing that you should want is for them to attack them and give them a reason to come out and to commit the genocide that they already are doing. And it's like, people like Hassan would tell you that that was a good thing. Yes, good on October 11th. And it's like, no, don't attack Israel. Don't do that, because they want you to do that so that they have a reason to go in and, wipe all of you out. And it's like, again, he doesn't actually care about the Palestinians or Gaza. He's given them bad advice for things to do to fight back against their oppressors. Other things, he acts like he cares about the gay. If you guys have seen, he acts like he cares about the gay community. He has his gay friend who has the talk show or whatever. I forget his name. Austin show or whatever. But yeah, he acts like he's like so pro LGBTQ and pro gay people and everything. But then like he was getting all this criticism for going over to China recently, and people kept saying, dude, why are you over in China? Did you know China recently has begun removing gay dating apps because they don't want gay people. They don't want LGBTQ people over there, or they at least want to de-incentivize people to do stuff like that. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, that's not happening. And it's like, no, it's proven. It's proven there are no like Grindr websites in China because they don't want gay people over there. And it's like, okay, so you don't care about gay people. You don't care about like the foreign issues like Palestine and Gaza. I don't know. That's what I'm getting at, is I've never believed that Hassan is a sincere person with whatever he's talking about. I've actually always thought that it's whatever it leaves him as morally right from what I see from Veronica. Yes, exactly. He takes stances that he views are going to leave him in the morally correct stance. But he doesn't actually believe in anything that he's actually talking about. Is what I've personally always garnered or gained or taken away from what Hassan cares about being right. Oh, Tim put it exactly. Yeah, Hassan cares about being right, or whatever he views as right is. Yes. 100%. That is exactly what he's always done, in my personal opinion. It's the same thing what I was getting at. Like, so I don't believe he's sincere about being a part or supporting the gay community, LGBTQ community. I don't believe he's actually ever been sincere with supporting the Palestine and the Gazans for anything. I don't think he's ever been sincere about actually being a socialist and being against capitalism, because he's like super rich, and he's like one of the richest content creators over on Twitch. He's number one, or at least in the top 3 biggest creators over there, and he's not ever willing to help out other creators who are in trouble on his behalf. He's got a big mansion, he's got all of this, or big house, I don't know if it's mansion, but he's got all this. He lives in California, he can afford it. And it's like all of that is like should be the antithesis of what his left-wing ideologies are supposed to be about. And then there was also some criticism of him recently that like, I don't think a lot of people think he actually pays his mods, which is kind of crazy. Apologies to my Discord mods that we got. I am not loaded, so therefore it makes sense why I can't afford to pay people. I appreciate you guys helping me out with the Discord, Veronica Rose and Skylar Twilight. But Hassan is like a huge content creator who like employs people. He employs like, I don't even know if he actually employs anybody. I take that back. I think he under the table. What I get from Hassan isn't someone who ever pays anybody. That's what I largely have always thought about him, is he's somebody who leans on people with his clout. He's like, hey, if you come and be a part of, if you jump into this video with me, or if you do this or you do that, the clout you get from me is the money, is the benefit of being around me. That's like, no, like if somebody's actually doing work for you, your clout shouldn't be enough to pay people, which that's, again, if that is how things operate around with his community and his orbiters, that is like the antithesis of being a socialist, right? Aren't the socialists supposed to be they're supposed to be the most pro worker, side, and this guy is like not willing to pay anybody in the background. Not to sound like Hamilton, but if you don't stand for nothing, then what do you fall for? Says Veronica Rose. I don't know. All right, let's continue to watch. I can yap. I'm yapping.
Right? I'd be like, hey, listen, you've got this GoFundMe money.
Exposure shouldn't equal full pay, says Veronica Rose. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely think exposure is something. Like 100%. I think it depends on what kind of work you're doing. Like if you're just around and doing stuff, I think exposure, if you're with somebody who's big, that means something. But if you're actually physically working, where you're actually creating things for somebody, then that means you should be getting paid, in my opinion. Like if I had 50,000 viewers or something, and I don't know, somebody just wanted to come on stream with me and talk about something, yeah, they'd be getting exposure out of that, sure. But I'm probably not going to want to, if they just showing up, maybe I don't want to pay them. But like if somebody wants to like edit videos for me, make YouTube shorts, handle social media, then yeah, they should be getting paid if they're actually doing work. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think there is a place where you could get paid for showing up, especially if you're coming in for like an interview or something. Then yeah, that's work. Which, interviews are work, I definitely think. But if you're like just an orbiter, then I'm just saying, like, everyone's situation is different. I'm assuming when it comes to content creation and paying the people around you. But what I'm saying is, Ethan is the capitalist. He's supposed to be the one is treating all of his employees. Not saying he's supposed to be, but like Hassan is the one that's supposed to be treating his employees greater. Heck, socialists even advocate for the work. I don't know if you guys know this, but in socialism advocates for the people that work for a company or business to have a certain amount of ownership within their company or the business that they work under. Do you think Hassan, for any of the people that work under him, do you think he allows any of them a percentage of the earnings that he gets per stream that he does? Hell no. For a fact that is not what's going on over there. And I'm not kidding. That if you go and look at like certain socialistic tendencies, that is something that's advocated for, is for the workers to have a percentage of, they own a percentage of a company or a business that they work for. The whole point of it is to spread wealth amongst people. It's like, yeah, that's not happening over there. And granted, Ethan's not doing that either, but Ethan's not saying he's a socialist. He's saying I'm a capitalist, but I think my people still deserve to be paid well, and they are being paid well. Why do you think Ethan's crew is still there? Why do you think he's able to employ so many people and him and his wife have like 2 or 3 businesses? Like, people aren't going to go work for you if you're not willing to treat them well. And I think that's why I can't tell you if Hassan actually employs anyone. I don't know. I think that's why you don't know if he does, because he's probably not actually paying anybody anything worth. He just has all these people that are willing to be crazy enough to defend him no matter what, so that they can garner or earn clout off of him. I don't. That's my opinion. All in my opinion. I don't know any of this for sure. Don't come after me.
If things get dire,
Holy cow, I'm only 10 minutes into this video. I have been yapping like a mofo. Feel free in chat to tell me to shut up if you feel like I'm
need me, I'm here
yapping
for you. I'm going to make sure you don't drown.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do anything. What a scumbag. I am sorry, but what a fucking scumbag.
Yep.
Hassan 100% employs people, says Tim. No, I agree with you. I actually think he does. But I'm saying there's a reason why you don't know that. You know what I mean? There's only one reason why you don't know if somebody actually employs anyone. And that would be if they don't want anyone to know what they're being paid or what they're getting for benefits. I guarantee you there's a reason why nobody knows that. H3 or Ethan and his wife, their employees are like constantly being seen. Everyone knows who their employees are. They have like, what is it, like 8 to 10 people a part of the crew. Ela a lot of times will bring on people from Teddy Fresh, their other company, onto some of the streams. Like, they have like, it's easy to see what their business is, and it's easy to see who's employed. But for Hassan, like, can you say, like, I agree with Tim, he probably does employ people, but can you say who? Do you know who? I have no idea. You know, who edits his videos for his YouTube streams, you know, like I have no idea. Or he wants to help, but they won't know it, or whatever he said. Tim says, I feel like every streamer employs people. I don't think there's necessarily nefarious reasons for not knowing who's employed. I agree with you, Tim, but I'm saying when it comes to Hassan, I'm not willing to give that, like, leniency, if you know what I mean. Just because I already have a negative outlook on Hassan. I agree with you, though. I'm not saying that's the way you should look at it when it comes to everyone else. But I'm saying when it comes to this guy, I think that's why he doesn't do it. Again, my whole rationale is just based on him and him alone. I think for the most part, like, I would do the same thing if I hired people and they don't need to be known that they're working for me. Yeah, why tell anybody? I get that. Same Yap Off Kings says Led Show. Payment all depends on how much someone's doing. Lucky enough right now, I'm able to do everything myself. So, I mean, if I could afford to support myself alone, yeah, let alone bring somebody on. I just like Hassan. I'm just saying of the things to dislike him. I don't know about that reason. Well, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm unbiased. I'm willing to say my bias is I don't like him, so I'm not willing to give him that wiggle room. I mean, I don't want to say I'm not willing to give, that makes it bad. I'm just saying I wouldn't, I guess what I'll say is I'm not willing to put it by him that he's not doing that. Is he doing that? I don't know for sure. I don't know. I don't like him. There you go. All right, let's get through this video.
That was incredible. That was incredible. That was an incredible thing to learn. You know. That's a good point. He doesn't have emotions to share. That might be true. That might be true. Well, he has money to share. If it's not emotion.
I want to begin by stating I take responsibility for infringing the.
And I guess I'll bring up another thing, just because, I'm blocking. I'm telling you, don't think that Hassan is not super loaded money-wise. I'm telling you guys, Hassan he's not just a streamer. Like, he does all this streaming stuff. Hassan has a lot of connections. If you guys don't pay attention to politics, the guy he's got connections to, like, major media outlets. If you don't know, he had recently they cut it off from him, but the dude had a sponsorship with AT&T recently that granted AT&T finally was like, I think maybe due to the dog stuff, the shot collar, maybe they backed off of him. But who the heck gets sponsored by AT&T? H3 is one of the biggest podcasts on YouTube. He doesn't have a sponsorship with AT&T. AT&T is one of the biggest companies in America. How do you get a sponsorship from them? Like, one of the major internet companies is sponsoring you? Like, how? Like, that's insane. Like, that's kind of sponsorship that, like, other content creators can't get. Hassan is able to get on. I've seen him on, like, he's on CNN. He's been on Piers Morgan. He's been on the Majority Report with Sam Cedar. He's on all of these big political sphere stuff. Oh, he recently did an interview with AOC and Bernie Sanders. He has connections to all of these people and all of these different media outlets. Like, I'm telling you, the dude isn't just like Tim says he's a millionaire. He's not just a millionaire. I guarantee you Hassan is, let me look it up. I would venture to say Hassan is probably worth like $50 million. And if that's not the case, not much less than that. Let me see what it says his net worth is. So it says here that Hassan's net worth is somewhere between, what a weird number. It says it's somewhere between $2 and $30 million. Thanks. That's like an insane 2 to 30, somewhere in there. I don't think there's any way he's worth less than 20 to 30 million bucks, but that's just me considering all of it. It says he bought a house in West Hollywood for almost $3 million in like 4 years ago. Like, come on. A $3 million house? Like, Tim says 8 million. I think that's super low end, but that's just me. Maybe maybe I don't know anything, but I would be shocked if he's worth less than 10 would be crazy to me. But again, he bought a house for like almost $3 million, like, which that's insane now that I'm saying that out loud. He has a $3 million. I get it. It's goodness gracious, $3 million. Good. Now that I'm thinking on that, that's insane.
Content nuke. The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and
I need that in my bank account, says Rock. I'd settle for one. Just give me one.
Misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins.
All right, give me $20. I'll settle. I'll settle for $20.
Yeah, I really appreciate that because I've really resented this narrative from Hassan and all these people in orbit who say their lawsuits are frivolous. When you spend a second to look into it, it's clearly not frivolous. And they keep rehashing the same dumb arguments like, oh, if it wasn't frivolous, why aren't you suing Asmongold? Dude, I said it in the video. I said it a million times over every time. It's because
Not the same case.
they willfully and maliciously.
So here's Ethan talking. Oh, I forgot what he's talking about.
Suing Asmongold.
Oh, here's his explanation why these three in particular are getting the lawsuit.
Dude, I said it in the video. I said it a million times over every time. It's because
Not the same case.
they willfully and maliciously copyright infringe.
Yeah.
Right?
In other words, they in their videos, they admitted that they are trying to harm him by doing what they were doing. That's the worst thing you can do if you're committing a crime, is to say, yes, I'm committing a crime and I'm doing it for this reason.
All three of the people I'm suing said something to the effect of, I watch it with me or somebody else so he doesn't get the views.
Yeah. Like,
maybe one year we'll get through this video system.
Right?
I
everybody
apologize.
knows
So
that
just
that is just.
We don't have to watch the whole
a
thing.
Giant no.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
So I appreciate her saying that right off the rip there.
This lawsuit has given me a greater understanding of copyright protection.
And that's
People's
really good too.
copyrights and the importance of protecting copyrights in the online content creation community. It is important for the entire content creation community to respect the intellectual property rights of other creators.
Yeah.
And I will adhere to the lessons I've learned throughout this process going.
See, I mean, that's a silver lining thing where it's like the whole point of these lawsuits for me has been activism from the start. That's the primary purpose of this. And so when I hear that she's kind of learned how to be more mindful with her.
And yeah, and Ethan here is kind of explaining that, like, again, Ethan's got a lot more money than any of these three people that he's suing. He doesn't need the money. This whole thing is due to activism. He wants to, well, I do think that's a bit loaded as well. Like, I'm not saying Ethan's not trying to do activism, because I do think he is. But I think mainly all of this, he wouldn't say this is the case because this may harm him in court. But he 100% has a vendetta, and for good reason, I will admit, to people like Hassan, and especially, maybe more than Hassan right now, is probably the H3 snark, the Reddit communities that are like secretly attacking and going after people in the background. I definitely think, don't get me wrong, I think Hassan's tied into that stuff somehow. But like, I definitely think the H3 snark communities are, those are the big things that he really wants to attack. Which, granted, he's also suing them. If you guys actually didn't know, H3 here, Ethan, is also just joined another lawsuit. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Let's see. Oh, nice. He's joined another lawsuit recently with, if you guys didn't know, 2 years ago, I didn't look into it too much. I read very basic about it, but essentially, NVIDIA is being sued right now in a class action lawsuit by a group of YouTube content creators because apparently what NVIDIA, which I'm going to jump in on this. No, I don't have money to jump in that lawsuit. But I mean, I guess I could if they've been stealing my videos as well. I don't know why you would want to steal my videos. Apparently, NVIDIA is being sued because it has been found out the last handful of years that in order to put information and to scrape data off of YouTube videos and to put it into their AIs and their algorithms and of the sort, apparently YouTube or NVIDIA, without people's approval, without their knowledge, has been taking YouTube videos and funneling it into their AI. And a lot of people are suing because it's like, so you're stealing our videos and you're training this AI to create videos that are just like ours, you know what I mean? Without letting us know, without paying us, without asking us, you know what I mean? Which, like, I 100% support this. That is a great thing to sue them for. Like, I don't appreciate that. Like, if people watch my video or if they do whatever, like, do what you can. But the idea that, like, a major company like Nvidia, I shouldn't just say a major company. If you guys don't know, Nvidia is the richest, most wealthy company in the world right now. I think they're worth what? They're the first ever $5 trillion company or something insane like that. So not only do they have money, but they're like the richest company in the world, and they're stealing our videos to feed into their AI so that their AI can recreate our video styles and our voices and the videos we create, and we haven't been compensated. Or I shouldn't say we. I don't know if they've stolen my videos. Maybe I'll find out someday. But technically, it's a class action. So I hope. Actually, I hope one of my videos got stolen, because then I can jump in on that class action. But yeah, just the idea that, like, people are the richest company in the world is taking someone's video, putting it into their AI so that they can recreate that person's voice or their video style or their art, is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, imagine any other art or media form that happening to. Imagine if you created an AI robot that was an expert painter, and you took all of Van Gogh's work and you channeled it all somehow into this AI robot, so that this AI robot could almost perfectly recreate Van Gogh's art style, or his art style in terms of creating art. It's like, well, I guess it's a bad comparison because Van Gogh's dead, but imagine a modern artist like that, and then it's like, oh, well, I can just create anything now using your very specific art style. It's like, no, that's not cool. Why wouldn't you at least ask me first before creating something that can put me out of work? You know what I mean? But yeah, essentially, I think that lawsuit towards Nvidia started in 2023. Ethan, I think, recently is jumping onto it. I think he said something about that. Granted, that's going to be an incredibly hard lawsuit to win because it's against the richest company essentially in the world right now. So, all right, sorry. Gosh, I got distracted.
Interacts with copyrighted or other people's property. Then I think that's a big win.
Steals Chaz's videos. What now, punk system?
You know, and it's really an important conversation.
Nobody wants my videos
for years, so it's really nice to hear her say that, right?
Forward. I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hassan Piker.
Can we soundbite that?
Sure.
I think we should probably clip that. Probably.
Do we need to watch this whole thing? I feel like we've already watched it, and he's just going back through it.
Me privately to offer words of support.
Oh, there is some good stuff here that I do want to see, though.
I found his indifference to my suffering hurtful, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes. It felt like he wanted to receive credit from the public for him helping me without providing any. As to the GoFundMe money, to the extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins.
Yeah.
The funds will not go to anyone else, including Denham's or Frogan, to defend their lawsuits.
Yeah, and I mean, that's obvious, right? Like, we all knew.
I think I need to go make me some more
this
coffee.
Money was going to end up going to me, and rightfully so. I mean, you can't raise money. The
yeah, I've never watched her. Again, I'm saying I've never watched her, but I will still hold two. Out of the three, I definitely think she makes the best content. Like, I've seen some clips of her, and she's legitimately weird and kind of funny sometimes. I've watched Denham's a little bit and Frogan. There's not a funny bone between either of them. I couldn't name anything funny I've ever seen them do. Kaceytron at least has a humor.
Any money you make in connection with the copyright infringement is all... it's all up for grabs. Or it's not up for grabs. I mean, it's all part of the damages. It's all liability. Where's that?
Sure as heck about my face.
Oh, yeah. And also, I want to give a special... Actually, I shouldn't... Yeah, I want to... Send me the... the GoFundMe so I can thank all the top
Comments out there.
donators, actually, including I do want to give a special thank you to Anissa for $1,000, and I know they've been on really hard times, so I know they dug deep.
Anissa and Ian here. Well, actually, I'll just say Anissa because you'll see Ian donated as well. But that's $1,000 that is going to Ethan
to donate that 1,000, and I personally am very grateful for that. So thank you to Anissa and iDubbbz to the effect that he makes any decisions in that household. You know.
Gobi's in the fender.
But I do want to thank all the top donators here. I kind of
this is probably the most petty I would say Ethan is throughout this entire thing is when he gets to the donos for Kaceytron because all that money is probably going to go to him. This is probably the most petty he is.
Let's see here. Top, good. So Xavier Benges, thank you. Anonymous. Anissa Joma, thank you so much. Anonymous. Ari JPG, thank you so much.
Bad Empanadas up there.
Oh, Bad Empanada, $500. Now $500 when you're on the run in Uruguay, $500 goes a long way.
What he means by on the run in Uruguay is if you don't know, Bad Empanada is widely considered to be one of the worst perpetrators of like some of the H3 snark stuff. I'm not saying he's directly tied to that. I don't think they found that out for sure just yet. But he is somebody who constantly is harassing people. And I think he's on the run from something. Like I think they said he originally was from Australia or something. Then he moved over to some other. He moved over to some South American country, and then is now living in Uruguay. So now he's in a second South American country. So a lot of people are thinking he's on the run for something. That's what Ethan is talking about. I think it's not obviously it's not proven to be the case, but I think Ethan thinks, and a lot of people think that Bad Empanada is the one that set up the skulls getting sent to Ethan's house. If you don't know, in their mail, which actually ended up going to the podcast, I think, but in their mail, they ended up getting 2 human skulls in their mail. Granted, it was from a website that specified in, I don't understand it, but it was a specific website that specified in gifting human skulls that are legally gained and legally cleaned, and they're meant to be like weird gifts or something. And yeah, which obviously to somebody who doesn't care about that, sending a gift like that is something scary and obviously comes off as like a threat. So I think that's what that is.
Thank you, right? Thank you. I mean, this guy skipped the border from Argentina to Uruguay, and I knew that. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, he was Argentina. Okay, so he was in Argentina, and now is over in Uruguay, whatever you say it.
Because that's been confirmed now that he's in Uruguay. It's not even like a conjecture. He's there, right? There's this new Twitter feature where they show where the country of origin is for everybody, so people can't lie about where they're from. Have you seen that?
Well, I heard that a bunch of prominent MAGA meme accounts got outed as being from like Africa and
yes.
What? I didn't know Twitter started doing that. I don't know if you guys heard that. That is new news to me. But Twitter now has a location thing, I guess, on their Twitter profiles. That's cool. So now Dan here is saying that there's a lot of prominent right-wing Twitter profiles that are now outed as not being in America. That's funny.
Yeah, so Bad Empanada has been tweeting, if you can believe it, from Uruguay.
Huh. You shout out.
What's the monthly average income in Uruguay?
I don't
Granted,
know.
I might be ignorant on this, but I assume that 500 never made money. So iDubbbz is down here on the list getting cucked with the 420.
So there's iDubbbz. If you didn't see, iDubbbz donated.
Lisa spends $1,000 to get on the top tier list. I'm sorry, but I find that hilarious. Either way.
So I don't know. It looked like iDubbbz donated almost 500, and Issa donated 1,000. So knowing that they're in such bad shape already financially, the fact that they're out here donating $1,500, why aren't I getting $1,500 donations? Goodness. Damn, they got exposed to Scarlet Twilight? Yeah, that's That's pretty funny. I mean, there's a lot of creators like that a lot of people speculate on, even in America. I wish I could think of the name. There was a huge Twitter profile, I think, got outed as being somebody in some Asian country or something, and it's like, I can't remember the name of it.
Either way, a dollar's a dollar, and I want to thank you both equally for, especially Anissa, though, who obviously runs the finances in the situation. Also want to thank Cruel World Happy Mind Madison, who was just popped in graciously right before the settlement to donate $100. Frankly, I think you owe me a lot more than that based on the damages you've done. But a gesture is a gesture, and I appreciate it. And I thank you, Madison, for being so kind and thoughtful in that regard.
Might be time for. I got to get another seat.
You have a fan in the chat from
this one's not
Uruguay.
doing enough.
And they said that info is wrong. I asked them what's the real
That seemed
number.
kind of high, but I don't know anything about Uruguay, so maybe it's a wealthy too, because they feel so fragile. Anonymous, Dunk. Oh,
Hello.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else
Rogan
crazy?
And Venom's GoFundMe's are still up, so if you want to support me, you
Let me
can
start
do it
trying to
in
get through
those
this
two
video.
places as well. So thank you. Very grateful.
It's interesting.
August 16th. So how long has that been? Like,
August, September.
That's his birthday?
October.
no, that's when we brought him
So
home.
it's been like
This lawsuit has given me a greater content creation community. It is important for the entire content creation community to respect the intellectual property rights of other creators, and I will adhere to the lessons I've learned throughout this process going forward. I also want to make
Because I got the seat cushion, but it doesn't feel like it helps
clear
enough.
that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise.
we
from
heard this
Hassan
part, but
Biker.
it's
Hassan
important.
never even
worth
reached out to me
repeating,
privately
definitely.
to offer words of support. Speaking honestly, I found his indifference to my suffering hurtful, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes.
Right.
It felt like he wanted to receive credit from the public for
Christmas gift
helping me
ideas. LOL.
without providing any.
Yep.
I'll take it. I need
As
to.
to the GoFundMe
I need to
money,
deal
to
with
the
some
ex-
gaming chair. Freaking, who is it? Who's the big gaming chair? I need someone to freaking sponsor me.
extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins.
Thank you.
The funds will not go to anyone else, including Denham's or Frogan, to defend their lawsuits. For the record,
Okay, so he's
Yeah,
So,
both
like,
of them.
Yeah.
all right. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video for now.
Well, well. Looks like you've reached the end, haven't you? You imbeciles. On Enter ChazmaN, you'll witness gaming brilliance beyond your comprehension. ChazmaN Live brings the drama. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. EST. Longplays delivers full journeys, uncut and unspoiled. Join the Patreon, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok below, if you can manage it. Still not following Enter ChazmaN? Then mediocrity clearly suits you.